You get a championship, you get a championship, you get a championship, you get a championship. Hell, everybody's just going to get a championship now, aren't they? I'm John Rantham with my review of WWE NXT. This actually was a pretty good episode of NXT overall. There were some things I didn't like, but the opening match, the closing match, and a couple other things really made this a much more digestible and a much more enjoyable episode of NXT in the last number of weeks, last couple months. The work rate is always really high, at least in 80% of these matches, and it is nice to see that they put a couple really goddamn good takeover-worthy match of the year candidates on free TV. Now, whether that ends up being the case or not, by the end of the year is subject to debate, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. So we have 2 title matches on tap. Regal is making a landscape-changing announcement, 2 of them actually. It's going to be TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Apparently, Edward James Olmos is going to be brought in for the introduction. If you get it, you get it. April 7th on USA, April 8th on Peacock. Good test to see how many people will tune in to watch WrestleMania exclusively on Peacock. That's going to be a weird transition, taking the library and putting it on Peacock. Boy, we're not going to have a lot of shit to watch for a little bit, judging by how they're doing this. But anyway, hey, that's going to be kind of cool. 2-night takeover. Don't make each edition over 3 hours. Just make it really, really good. Just make it really, enjoyable. Pack the card. Utilize the women's division. Hell, create another championship like they did when they had the NXT women's division out there. And I didn't know who about 10 of these women were. That could have been due to the fact it was bad lighting. It was nice to see the former Priscilla Kelly out there, as well as the former Elena Black and many others. It was really, really good. It's going to take me a bit to get used to their new names. I apologize. But they're all out there. And so Regal brings out Raquel, Gonzalez, and Dakota Kai because they got screwed over the, Capital Center Wrestling Center screw job last week. For whatever reason, they decided to do that, and I still don't understand why. They didn't just put the tag titles on them. Oh, wait, it's to create another championship. More championships is not the goddamn answer, and I'm not even knocking the women here. The women deserve this opportunity. They should just create a mid-card title. They really should have. I mean, I had this debate with the Derbinator a couple of years ago when they, and hopefully he will come back to the channel soon. Because I do miss doing videos with my best friend, but we're all taking care of ourselves. That's what's most important. But anyway, they really should just create a mid-card championship back in 2019 instead of the tag titles. Because even though the women have tried, the tag division just doesn't, it doesn't fucking matter. This feels like they're trying to recreate what they did with the WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships. And if you forgot about those, don't worry, because it happened in the last month of the company, where the first champions got crowned at Greed, Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo, and I only know that because I rewatched the entire last year of WCW 2000 to 2001. Don't ask me why. Probably because I hate myself. But then we had, another, set of champions that got crowned on the final Nitro, Ray and Kidman. That was 8 days later. They accelerated that here because Raquel and Dakota, the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Okay, cool. They deserve it. Clap, 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 clap. Schatzy and Ember challenge them. Okay. Honestly, more championships, it's not the fucking answer. I'm just saying it. It's not the goddamn answer. It's ridiculous. Half the championships don't even mean anything anyway. You can say this about, some of the championships in New Japan. Just doing all that doesn't mean that, automatically gets it credibility. Even if the talent, involved are really good, it doesn't give them credibility. It just means, hey, we're going to just keep doing this and hope you guys don't recognize that we're just grasping at straws here to try and juice up stuff with the women, instead of just letting them go out there and perform and maybe have a mid-card title and maybe have a tournament and stuff like that. But anyway, enough ranting about that. Io Shirai versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's Championship. Magnifique. Really well done. I don't know why Toni Storm was channeling Dangerous Danny Davis with her gear. But that aside, this was a really good match. Toni Storm is a very good wrestler, and Io Shirai, one of the best in the world. And when she has the right person to work with, she can do some really good stuff. And her and Toni, they took this seriously. Rematch of, the Mae Young Classic. Really at Evolution. Really good stuff here. The nice superplex by Toni, that was really nice. The German suplex, and then the Storm Zero. Holy shit, this is after a moonsault by Io Shirai. They did some really high-level work here. This was good stuff. Missed headbutt and crossface for the win. I encourage you guys to go check this one out. I'm not going to get too, critical of really anything. It was just very well wrestled. This could have been on a takeover, and it wouldn't have been a miss. But it was on free TV, and these women were given a lot of time, and it was very, very good stuff. So Balor then is cutting a promo saying that he will beat Cole tonight. LA Knight says, hey, his debut should be next week. And then Bronson Reed attacks him because LA Knight screwed over Bronson Reed last week. Pete Dunne with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Jake Atlas. Okay, Atlas did some flippy shit and some good kicks, and Dunne basically just beat up his arm, his hand, and just fingered him the wrong way and snapped his arm to get the victory. That's really about it right there. When you finger somebody too violently, they have to give up eventually. You can only take so much of a fingering from another man. Trust me on this and delete your search history. So, basically he says that I'm the best technical wrestler in the world, and whoever wants to step up to me can try to prove me wrong. Please don't do the prove me wrong thing. It didn't work out so well for the last guy that did that, and if you know, you know. He was for real. Wasn't a very good family man either. Talking about the original guy that said that. So, Imperium talks about Thatcher. We're doing this for you. I learned it from you. No, they didn't say that. I didn't know it would have been funny, but they're going to get Thatcher into Imperium because they have to get somebody in there because Walter is still over in NXT UK. Leon Ruff gets swerved next week. He says there'll be another rough landing for you. You proud of that, Ruff? You proud of that sentence you just said? Actually, he should. Leon Ruff is a fine performer. Him and Swerve should have a good match next week. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember and Schatzy. NXT Women's Tag Titles. Okay. I understand what they were trying to do here, but it was ridiculous. Instant cloverleaf on Dakota. Dakota got the shit beat out of her for like 80% of this match. Whenever Raquel was in there, she had to be double teamed. It was a nice, bit of storytelling. Same stuff they did with the Dusty Classic, because it's just a rematch of the Dusty Classic. The Women's Classic, that is. Schatzy does it. Ember was a bit sloppy during some of this, and I don't understand why. I don't understand if the timing was off or what the deal was. Dakota and Schatzy did have some good exchanges. Miscommunication where Dakota ends up getting trapped in a bridge pin by Schatzy 1, 2, 3. Thanks for coming. Not even an hour after being champions. At least they waited 8 days before crowning new WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions. No, they didn't even wait an hour. Now, I get why with the aftermath here. They didn't need to create this championship to get to this goal. So then Cole says he's going to put O'Reilly and Strong in their place, and he will beat Balor tonight. And then the women's locker room, except for a couple, are congratulating Ember and Schatzy, and they're so happy, and they're celebrating, and now they're all synchronized. So Candice and Indy are all upset, and Indy really is not benefiting from being part of the Way, and the Way may be my least favorite faction, not named the Inner Circle, but I digress. They're talking to Gargano, and then Theory comes along. You paid out the therapist. Why would you do this? No, Loomis really did say this stuff. He mentioned, made fun of your abs. Oh, this is too much. He rips his shirt, and nobody likes this. If you like this stuff, that's fine, but this isn't doing anything for Indy. I really don't care about Theory, and Gargano just bores me, and Candice just bores me, even if Candice and Gargano are very good in the ring. And they are. They actually are. I just don't care about, they aren't doing very good. Whether it's scripted or not, it's not very good. And then Caden Carter took on Xia Li with the 1,000-year-old woman that made a deal with a dragon for power that cost her soul. I will not get over that. I can't get over that. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. It's stupid for wrestling, and imagine how much ground that covers. This may be worse than the Great Okan in New Japan, which is saying something. I don't know if it's as bad as the exploding barbed wire deathmatch sparkler ending, but given all the build and everything, and Xia Li and Boa getting the shit beat out of them, this is pretty goddamn bad. Pretty bad. Who is this grudge goes to? The hell knows. And who the hell cares? So, Casey was there, and after a couple minutes, she hit Xia with her crutch, that is. Casey crutched and Cesaro really tried hard there, and it was a DQ win. Cool. Okay, and then Casey basically just essentially buries Xia by hitting her with a crutch a whole bunch. I mean, I'm sorry. And, I'm sorry. If you guys like this, it's stupid to me. It's just really, really stupid to me. Xia is trying, but she's swimming upstream. And, up the, the biggest current, like it's pushing her back. She's trying. She's strong. She really can, be a star. This ain't it. The presentation is goofy. It's dumb. And then Boa gets hit with a crutch after trying to basically confront. And, yeah, thanks for coming, guys. They were, outsmarted by, somebody, by Caden, who is fine, and also a frickin' midget, who hopefully maybe learned her goddamn lesson, is all I'm going to say. So, this was dumb. The Grudge Ghost was either angry or sleepy, or maybe needed to go make another deal to get a pizza from the goddamn dragon. And then Devlin says he will face Escobar, or at least confront him, and we're probably going to get that match at TakeOver. Great, we just what we need. Jordan Devlin back on mainstream NXT TV. Soured on Devlin for obvious reasons, but obviously he just started to bore me, and I really don't care. I'm sorry, I really don't. Like, I don't care about the Cruiserweight Championship. I will say this, have Escobar win, though. If you're going to have this match happen, there is no reason to give that, crown to Devlin. Escobar is the bigger star of the two. So, Zoe Stark talks about growing up on the wrong side of the track. She had two paths, continue down that life or find a better life. Wrestling saved her. Nice promo. And then Legoland Phantasm, Wilde and Mendoza took on the Grizzled Hung Veterans, as I call them, because I'm just going to mock everything, because the tag team division's a joke, on NXT. Even NXT UK, because they really don't have a deep tag division, but especially on Raw and SmackDown. But even the NXT tag division has meant nothing. Like Lorcan and Birch, when was the last time they defended the tag titles? Genuine question, I don't remember. Suddenly, the space guys show up. Oh no, it's Breezango after Legoland Phantasm, attacked them. No, it turns out it's MSK, and they cause a distraction, and Legoland Phantasm gets the victory. I know what their actual name is, but I just don't care. Then, they attack Zach Gibson's hand because Lee got his hand busted, and then Breezango show up and beat up the Legoland people. Why does this matter? Why does any of this matter? And MSK and Grizzled Hung Veterans, whatever, had a great match, TakeOver Vengeance Day. One of my favorite tag team matches this year. I didn't care. Anyway, Dakota and Raquel are upset about... Oh, by the way, also, before I get to that, they acted like the whole spacesuit Daft Punk thing was like some kind of big deal. Dakota and Raquel talk about... the tag titles. They were the first NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And then Io shows up and wants Raquel next. She wants her in the worst way or the best way, whatever you choose. That will actually be a pretty damn good match at TakeOver. Build that up. Have Raquel beat the one to beat Io. Why not? Io's held the championship for almost a goddamn year. You might as well give it to Raquel and see what Raquel can do. So Thatcher and Ciampa talk about Imperium. Ciampa wants Walter, but they're going to have a tag match against Imperium next week. Which members of Imperium doesn't really fucking matter. And then for next week, we're going to have Lumis versus Theory, because that's a feud that everybody cares about. Swerve versus Ruff, which should be fine. LA Knight in his debut. Cole versus Balor, NXT title. Really good stuff. Proud Boy Ref shouldn't be there. Nobody wants to see Proud Boy Ref. He's a goddamn idiot. He is the worst Drake that they have on their roster. Because at least the other Drake can actually wrestle and is beneficial and doesn't seem like a goddamn, Q believer and a goddamn idiot and a prick. So, Big Fight Field, they started out slow with side headlocks and did some good stuff. Then we got body part targeting. I'm not going to get into too many details about this because it was just really high-level work and really good stuff. But Cole kept targeting the jaw, the previously injured jaw of Balor. Balor kept coming back with drop kicks and some good hits and just flexing and sticking his package right out there in front of the camera. The camera knows exactly what the ladies and statistically some of the men love. And Balor does come back. Cole sees O'Reilly in the opening. Oh no. Oh, Cole Riley. That was a reach. Sees him, gets all scared. 1916 Bloody Sunday on the floor, and then the stomp. The big old stomp. The coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Balor retains. And then O'Reilly's upset at Cole, and then Cole tries to bag off, and then do the low blow, and then he rips the armband off and throws it, and starts beating him down. We get a pull apart, and then we get O'Reilly chasing Cole and beating him down on the ramp. And then Balor's there, and we have the camera focused on Balor, so somebody's behind him. He's like, what took you so long? And here's Karrion Kross. Quick question, how does Karrion Kross sneak up on anybody? Genuine question. Because I don't know how, man, I met Karrion Kross. He's not exactly somebody that can... hide in a crowd very easily because he's a big lad. But that actually should be pretty good. Kross versus Balor should be pretty good. Really good, bookended by two really good matches and a couple other things. There were just other things I didn't like. Like, why should I care about the tag division? Why should I care about the Xia Li stuff, even though I liked Xia Li? Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.